How's my hair? All right, so today we've got us a big Class C here. They have a Girard water heater, and they've got a leak. So let's go find out what's going on. But before we do that, please give us a subscribe, a like, leave a comment, turn on the little ringy bell notification, and every time we do a video, you will know, and you'll be entertained. Let's go. So here's our situation. Got the old standard Girard tankless water heater, and this is the part we're replacing, but you can see the guy sitting right back there, right there, and the problem is the bottom of it's broke. So we're going to need to get that guy out. I'm hoping I can do all of this without having to take the whole freaking unit out, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can do here. But that is what we're replacing. And let's see, we got a tiny screw in there. There's a tiny set screw right at the bottom of that. And I can't tell if it's Phillips or what it is. But it ain't gonna be a Robertson. I'm going to cut that little zip tie in there that's holding the wires. There we go. Alright. We'll need to unplug that. Plug our little wire harness here. Alright. Okay, so now if we can break loose this nut right here, we should be able to get the piece out. I didn't want to do it. I thought we were going to have to pull the unit out. I think we'll have to pull the unit out. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, the sun's coming out. I love it. I love it. Alright. Probably gonna have to go inside and disconnect the gas and the water and all that good stuff. Alright, so here's what we're dealing with. We got the back of the water heater, but it's under the sink here. And you can see got a rubber gas line, but my two water lines are PEX. So I'm going to have to stick my arm back there and unscrew those so that we can get that unit out. That was tricky to get at, but we got the water lines broke loose. The only thing connected right now is our 12-volt wiring and our rubber gas line. There we go. There's a communication cable. Alright, that's all the gas line we got. Alright, so we need to go verify the gas is off. They had those water lines on crazy tight. But if you look in there, we've got two cutoff valves. So we turned those off. The water was off anyway. But yeah, whoever put this water heater in, boy man, they had those connections on tight. And of course it was a weird angle to get my arm in there to get them unscrewed. So those are going to be fun to put back on. Alright, let's go kill our gas. Alright, so we got the gas turned off. We're going to break loose our gas line here. Oh, it's funky. Smells good. Alright, and we're going to disconnect our wires. I got these bell connectors on here. We'll replace those guys with Wago connectors. Alright, so when you're dealing with two blues like that, they're communication wires, so it's really not that big of a deal which way they go, but the way I cut it off is that it can only go back one way. So one bell connector, right? Red to red, blue to blue. So when I put it all back together, I'm going to put those blue wires back the way that they were, the way I found them. Now that we've got it broke free, we can set it down on this table. And we can go ahead and take our screws out and remove this top piece so we can get at it from the side. Got the guts. Here we go. This right here is what we're talking about. See, they got a set screw here that holds this tight down onto our water inlet. The water comes in here. Can you see that? Water comes in here, runs down through here and then up through. This is our water flow sensor. So what I'm having to do is break this nut loose off of this, but when I turn the nut, it's just turning the whole thing. So that's why we ended up having to do what we're doing. That set screw is just chewed up, man. It is seized up in there. We're gonna have to go find a screw out of my screw box that'll work as a set screw. I don't know, maybe that screw will work as a set screw. Anyway, that's what is broke. Alright, well, here's what we did. See that little screw right there holding the sensor on? Well, we took it off the old one. There's the sensor and the brass piece. Interesting that it just sits up against the flat of that brass like that. But anyway, we're going to use that as our set screw because it's threaded perfect. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Alright, so that seats down all the way. Can you see this? Seats all the way down on there. There's that O-ring in there. Got an arrow telling us the water is going this way, and then we're just going to tighten up this set screw. What happens a lot of times is people don't winterize their camper, and this will freeze. And this is why we have these parts on hand in stock, is because it'll be after wintertime. They plug up their camper and they got a leak in the water heater, and it's usually this that's broke, and it's because of this. Ice gets up in here and breaks this brass. It's a common problem with the Girards, unfortunately. Got all that snugged up, and this will plug into here. And after I've confirmed that we are leak free, I'll zip tie that back together. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're just going to set this back inside that hole there, and I'm going to connect those water lines back up, and we're going to run it. Alright, so I got my little winterization test hose that I've made myself. We'll screw that in to the cold water inlet, that onto the hose. We'll go turn on some water and see what we got going on. They pipe dope those threads crazy. All right. watch that. Okay, so far so good, but there's no pressure on it. Let's see if I can hold it back with my hand. Yep, we got another leak right there. Unfortunately, Mr. Customer's going to need a new heat exchanger. I was wondering when I saw some of this green corrosion right here on the end of this elbow, and there's some right there too. Well, that's what's leaking. This guy right here is leaking. I know that was leaking. That would have been a mess. But yeah, let me go make a plug for this so I'm not having to use my hand. We'll get a really good test on it and see if there are many leaks or if there's only one more. Alright, so what I got here is I just got a connector that'll fit on the back of that hot water side. Short piece of PEX, a plug. We'll screw that guy on there so that we can pressurize the unit up and see, is that the only leak we got going on? And if it is, what does Mr. Customer want us to do? Do you want us to replace the unit or see if we can fix it? And of course, I don't have a unit. Something we order. But anyway, come on. And it's even red for hot. Not that it'll be hot. Alright, so now when we turn water on, that'll stop it. This can pressurize, and then we can see, is that the only place that that's leaking? It's a pretty robust leak, isn't it? It is just squirting. I can see it right there. It's squirting into my finger. You see that? Look right down on it. You see that?
Yes.
It may come, I don't know if it come across in the video or not. Alright, let me look. Yeah, it looks like it's that brazing down there that's failed. Oh, dang it. And that is just a squirting. Alright. Well, I guess we need to have our conversation. Alright, so as you guys saw, got a leak right there. You saw it was spraying and misting and all that. Well, we talked to the customer, and the customer is electing to replace the unit. So instead of paying $200 for a heat exchanger and the time to swap it out and all of that, he's decided to go ahead and upgrade to a Truma. So we're gonna just leave this out, take my new part back off, of course, and then we're going to order a Truma, and then we'll be back out here in a few days, and we'll install that and a new door kit. So that's the resolution for today. So in his hole there, as you can see, he's got the gas line hanging out right there. Right here, we're going to go ahead and cap this off so he can use gas while we're waiting on the Truma. And then the water connections right here, we've got the cutoff knobs. So those are off. We don't have water puking everywhere. And so anyhow, I'm going to cap the gas line off. We're going to clean up our mess. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to go do another one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.